Hello and welcome to Next Week in Destiny for the week of November 8th, 2022. First up, we have our featured Nightfall for the week commencing November 8th, which will be the Devil's Lair over on the Cosmodrome, where you have a chance to get a Pinnacle engram if you complete the Nightfall with a score of 100,000k or more. Also this week, we'll see the return of bonus Nightfall rewards, meaning you will be able to get double drops of the featured weapon, exotic gear, enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, and ascendant shards. The higher the Nightfall difficulty, the more common the drop will be, with the featured weapon and exotic gear being uncommon at hero difficulty, becoming more common with ascendant shards in Master and Grandmaster Nightfalls. Legend and lower Nightfalls will have 4 barrier champions and 8 overloads, with 5 solar, 17 arc, and 8 void shields. Master and GM will have 4 barrier and 15 overloads, with 5 solar, 8 arc, and 8 void shields. Your Grandmaster modifiers will be barrier and overload champions, which cannot be stopped without the correct mods equipped. Arc No, when defeated, Fallen Vandals spawn a web mine under their feet. Chaff, which is your radar is disabled. Your Grandmaster modifiers are Contest, Join in Progress disabled, Lock loadouts, Match Game, and extra shields. Match Game is enemy shields are highly resistant to all unmatched elemental damage. Your equipment is locked, which means you will not be able to change your equipment after this activity starts. Extinguish, if your fire team falls in the restricted zone, everyone is returned to orbit. You have limited revives, and you gain additional revives by defeating champions up to 20 max. Champions Mob, this mode contains additional champions. And Stepkiss Gaze, increase incoming arc and splash damage is increased by 50%, but 25% bonus arc damage dealt to enemies. The power requirement this season to enter the gems are 1595 light, which is also what your power is capped at, and the enemy's power will be 1620. Your anti-champion artifact mods for this week are Anti-Barrier Scout and Auto Rifle for 1 energy, and then further over, Snipers for 6. Overloads are bows and machine guns for 1 energy, and the Arc Grenade mod, Surge Detonators, for 2 energy. You also have exotic weapons and armor that can help with the intrinsic mods as well. So for anti-barrier, we have the Kinetic Bow Wishender, the Kinetic Linear Fusion Rifle, Arbalest, the Solar Energy Hand Cannon, Ariana's Vow, the Solar Heavy Sword, the Lament, and the Titan Exotic Gauntlet Second Chance, which gain a second charge of your shield throw melee, which becomes shield piercing and stuns barrier champions. For Overload, we have the Void Energy Bow, Le Monarch, the Arc Energy Linear Trace Rifle, Divinity, the Arc Heavy Machine Gun, Thunderlord, and the Warlock's Exotic Boots, the Secant Filaments, which when you drop an Empowering Rift, any weapon that is fired from inside the well will cause an Overload champion to be stunned. The featured weapon to obtain next week will be the Kinetic Aggressive Frame Sniper Rifle, Silicon Neuroma. This sniper has high damage and high recoil, with a base impact of 90, base range of 74, stability of 17, and handling of 24. It can roll with Opening Shot, Firing Line, Frenzy, and Adrenaline Junkie, with Firmly Planted, Snapshot Sights, and Triple Tap. It has the origin trait of Stunning Recovery, where if you stun a champion, you partially refill the magazine, trigger health regen, and improve your recovery for a short duration. And Vanguard Vindication, where final blows with this weapon grant a small amount of health. Next up, Lord Shaxx brings Showdown back to the Crucible this upcoming week. Showdown is a 3v3 PvP mode in which you have limited lives and the ability to refund a death by reviving your teammates. Teams work to score as many kills as they can across a series of 5 timed rounds. If each team manages to win 2 rounds apiece, a 5th Showdown round commences in which each player only has 1 life, kicking off a tense elimination-style tiebreaker. This mode offers players a taste of the core elements of Survival and Trials of Osiris. The Pinnacle dungeon for next week will be the Grasp of Avarice over on the Cosmodrome, where you can obtain Artifice Armor from doing a Master version, which gives you an additional mod socket that can be used to equip artifact mods from the current season. And your Pinnacle raid will be the Garden of Salvation on the Moon. Next up, challenges. So we have now had all 78 challenges over the period of 10 weeks. As a reminder, if you can complete 75 out of 78 available for this season, you can get a large pile of Bright Dust to spend at the Eververse store. And speaking of Bright Dust, onto our Eververse for the week of November 8th, 2022. Available this week for Bright Dust, we have the Indra Soaring Exotic Weapon Ornament for the Thunderlord Machine Gun for 1,250 Bright Dust. The Queen's Best Exotic Ship for 2,000 Bright Dust. The If It Fits Ghost Projection for 1,500 Bright Dust. The Baril Shah Shader for 300 Bright Dust.
And if you want to be a pirate and just can't pull off that pirate voice, me hearties, then ye can at least dance like a pirate with the High Seas Dance Exotic Emote for 3,250 Bright Dust. Arr!
The Hardlight Exotic Ghost Shell will be available for 2,850 Bright Dust. The Sunny Day Seeker Exotic Sparrow will be available for 2,500 Bright Dust. The M3D1 Valkyrie Exotic Ship is available for 2,000 Bright Dust. The Eternal Vengeance Vest for the Hunters is also available, along with the Nightly Noir Plate for the Titans, and the Painted Kits and Robes for the Warlocks, all for 1,600 Bright Dust each. The Matterscourge Exotic Weapon Ornament for the Outbreak Perfected will be 1,250 Bright Dust, and rounding out the Bright Dust offerings in the Eververse store will be the Sterling Arbor Ghost Projection for 1,500 Bright Dust. And then finally, the Lost Sector rotation for next week.
Hello!
Your daily Lost Sector will show you a flag outside which will give you details of champions and burns you will find inside. But if you are new to the game or you're using an alternate character and can't find the flag outside, you will have to run through the Lost Sector normally to have it show up on your map as a Legend or Master. Tuesday, November 8th will be the Concealed Void over on Europa for exotic helmets, Solar and Void Elemental Shields, a burn of Solar with Overload and Barrier Champions. Wednesday, November 9th will be the Bunker E15 on Europa for exotic boots, Void Elemental Shields and Void Burn with Overload and Barrier Champions. Thursday, November 10th will be the Perdition on Europa for exotic gauntlets, Arc and Void Elemental Shields with an Arc Burn with Overload and Barrier Champions. Friday, November 11th will be the Conflux on Nessus for exotic chests, Solar and Void Elemental Shields with a Solar Burn with Unstoppable and Barrier Champions. Saturday, November 12th will be the K1 Crew Quarters on the Moon for exotic helmets, Solar Elemental Shields with an Arc Burn, and Overload and Barrier Champions. Sunday, November 13th will be the K1 Logistics on the Moon for exotic boots, Arc and Solar Elemental Shields, Avoid Burn with Overload and Barrier Champions. And finally, background to Monday, November 14th will be the K1 Communion on the Moon for exotic gauntlets, Solar and Void Elemental Shields with a Solar Burn with Overload and Barrier Champions. And that's it for your next week in Destiny starting on the 8th of November 2022. A big thank you to Kyber's Corner for the Nightfall information, Today in Destiny for the Eververse and Lost Sector information, and Light.gg for the challenges. You will find all the links in the description below. A like and a follow would be appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.